Be funnier.
In this episode of the Actual VR Show, people are strapping fans to their face with the Valve Index. Walmart's taking us to the next generation to fast-track middle management to the corner office. And finally, we throw privacy out the window with Steam VR's new pass-through camera capability. We're not safe to talk here. All right, let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's do it. One of those gotta work. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Actual VR Show, where we take everything that's going on in immersive content and boil it down into this perfectly prepared presentation. And for our first story of the day, we're talking about the Valve headset. This is just an update. The Valve Index came out last month, but what we're starting to find out is people are starting to use them. We're starting to find out all those little hardware and software ticks that are just natural when you come up with new hardware. So we're gonna talk about just a few different things when it comes to the Valve headset. One, people are 3D printing fans onto the face of this headset because of overheating. So people are actually at home, and you guys find these online, there are free schematics to be able to 3D print fans that go on the face of this headset. I do think that's something that can be fixed later on the road. This doesn't kill the headset. This is just a little bump, just a little boop in the road to success for Valve. So why is this important? Why are we following up on the Valve headset? Why should you care? Because the Valve Index controllers are probably the most exciting thing for me. Because what's different about these controllers is that your hand is strapped to the controller, allowing you to completely release your hands and still be attached to the controllers. Why is that important? Because in VR, grabbing things is a thing. Like, that's the closest thing to haptic feedback. That's the closest thing to feeling real objects in VR. Because when your hand is open, when you go to pick something up, you feel that controller. You feel that resistance in your hand. And while it's not perfect, it doesn't fit everything that you grab in VR, it's still a form of resistance. Especially when you're training with something that is handheld. If you have a hammer in your hand, if you have a device, if you need to hold anything or pick anything up in a training scenario, that's valuable. That is just one step closer to becoming real. The reason why I'm not talking about the specs on the headset itself, because I think if you're looking for resolution, obviously if you're a gamer, but for me, as somebody who uses this for enterprise use, as somebody who creates experiences at the enterprise level, what would be more valuable to me, or you as a 3D modeler, you as a company where resolution is important, I would go with something like the Varo headset that we talked about a few weeks ago and combine that with the Valve Index controllers. That way you have the pixel density of that headset with the fidelity of these Index controllers. For our second story of the day, we're going to talk a little bit about Walmart. Walmart, Kyle, what's going on at Walmart? Well, they're using, did you not hear? They're at the forefront of virtual reality training. Walmart has been using virtual reality to train their employees for a little while now. And they, in the past, have used it for training for something like Black Friday. They use virtual reality to train employees for Black Friday. Actually, we got a hold of some of that footage from that experience and how they train employees to handle the surge, the chaos, the craziness that is a Black Friday operation.
Yeah!
Okay, so maybe that's not exactly what it looked like, but we can't find the footage of what it was. But now we heard Walmart is now using it as their own Kobayashi Maru. Don't know what that is? If you don't know what that is, you're probably not a nerd. And what this does is middle managers now are putting on headsets and going through training exercises. They're put in these impossible training situations where they're having to deal with things as they come. So an angry employee walking through the aisles and be able to notice when products are out of place. And this can affect whether or not you're eligible for a raise. Are you gonna be the Captain Kirk of your Walmart? Super nerd. It's over 9,000! Actually, we're gonna go back to that first article that we talked about with the Valve Index. And I want to talk specifically about the technology to be able to reconstruct a room via a pass-through camera on a headset. Because if you didn't know already, Facebook has this ability. They can take a combination of the videos and pictures that you've taken with your phone and reconstruct your room, your home, your office, wherever you take your photos, and create a 3D model out of those photos. So this technology is not new, but it does kind of pose a question, the ethical question, the privacy issue of, is this too invasive? Are we willing to sacrifice our privacy so that way we can have an easier VR experience? Because history will tell us that we don't really mind. We say we mind. We say we mind when we think about something and Facebook hears us. Like, that's the thing. Do we really care if it's making life easier for us? So between Facebook being able to reconstruct your home, to now Steam VR being able to do the same thing with VR headsets, are you guys okay with that? Is that something that we've just accepted in our time, that at any given time we're gonna have people looking in, reconstructing, know exactly where we live, where we go? Because it kind of feels that way. It kind of feels that we can't escape it unless you're willing to sacrifice convenience.
I think it comes down to features versus privacy, you know, where people willingly let up the privacy because they really want the feature, you know? So
it's the convenience. Yeah. Are you willing to sacrifice the convenience of not having to move things around in VR? Like, essentially to where you can operate in any space, you know exactly where obstacles are? Imagine a world where you could walk into your office, put on a VR headset, and it becomes whatever you want it to be for that day. That desk that you sit at is no longer a desk in a white room. It's a desk sitting right in the middle of Fiji. What kind of future could we look at where when you go to work, you're taken to another place, another country, another world? It's possible. Think how much money you'd save on all those motivational posters if you could just take your employees to another place, make them forget that they're sitting at a desk. Boom! That's you liking this video. But for real, if we've brought you any value, give us a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions you have. If you have any comments about anything that we've talked about today, just know we'll be down there, we'll be talking, we'll meet you. Thank you guys so much. I know you have a very busy day. You took time out of that busy day to come hang out with us here in the studio to talk a little bit about virtual, augmented, immersive, all the content. What? I honestly don't know how I can be so incompetent sometimes. All I'm saying is, you should come by next week. You should. See you next week. I don't know.
You need a name for the people that watch it. Like, are they your
actual fans?
Actual fans. For all my actual fans out there.
a-holes.
What's up, a-holes? That's hilarious. Where's my chin? I look like a thumb. My head looks like a thumb. Thumb head. Thumb head.